Okay, moving on to some of the most amazing awaited sessions, right? When you think of AI, you know, there's this, keeping up with my entire Bollywood scene of things, the song comes to my head. हम तेरे बिन कहीं रह नहीं पाते, AI नहीं आते तो हम मर जाते. And I'm told that my next speaker is a poet, and he's also into astrology. Well, I definitely want to ask him later after the show how many more new companies I'm going to open, because I've always aspired to be a Tata, so I want to know how quickly that will happen. But here is a small shairi for our poet. आप जैसा विजनरी शायद कहीं हो अतुल, आप जैसा विजनरी शायद कहीं हो अतुल, इसीलिए तो आपको बोलते हैं सब CEO super cool. Atul Jalan, welcome on stage, the CEO, the MD of Manthan. And well, an entrepreneur for life. Well, you have to tell me about my predictions later, but over to you for the predictions of artificial intelligence. Thank you so much.
Thank you. What do I do with this? Okay.
Press.
All right. Okay. Hi. Good evening. I'm super excited, and I'm honestly honored to be sharing my point of view on a subject that has been occupying my mind for a while now, and has been consuming me in a most exhilarating way. You know, we all would agree that life in last 10, 15 years has changed more than life in, let's say, last 50, 75 years. Yeah. And we would also agree that the life in next 10, 15 years seems to be on the path of even profounder change. Correct? We seem to be approaching a point where the evolution of man is not only nature-led, you know, but it's being artificially engineered by man. And honestly, in next 20, 25 minutes, my attempt would be to share my point of view on the journey of this man, ascent of this man, what I would like to call Homo Sapiens version 2.0, with the ability to play God. Math and science in my mind have evolved to a point where they're able to absorb their own complexities, right? Thus making the most sophisticated application of itself very intuitive to us. Look at the example of GPS. And I wonder, it actually leverages the high sciences, physics of theory of relativity. You know that the clock on the satellite and the clock on the objects on the earth are keeping two different times, correct? And and across the board this application is used. Okay, look at our smartphones. They're like AI factory. Image recognition, spam filters, language translators, smart reply, image recognitions. And to my mind, the most surprising aspect of all this is we don't have to acquire new skills to learn these applications. They just effortlessly bake themselves into our daily lives. To my mind, AI has become is a horizontal layer, an enabling layer, the new electricity, if you will. Correct? On top of which we are building intelligent applications. And these intelligent applications are going to be changing the way we have lived our lives. You pointed out to so many changes. Correct? Unfortunately, we wake up to the importance of this new change, you know, brought this time again by science and technology of AI, to the whole hullabaloo, hyperbole, and hubris around AI to trigger World War III, the public spat of egos between Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, Microsoft, Twitter auto agent raising slogans for Nazism, communist bots raising slogans for capitalism, and so on and so forth. You know, I don't know if it has occurred to me. I have always been amused that, you know, in short, we always overestimate the benefits of technology in short term. Always think about .com 1.0. You know, Amazon was written off as a flash in pan. Today it is threatening to become $1 trillion company by market cap. You know, we always tend to highly overestimate the benefits of technology in short term. And we highly underestimate its power of transformative change in the long term. This over-promise and under-delivery also sent AI to a long Siberian winter till confluence of factors, much like genetic evolution, confluence of random factors came together and has brought AI to its current tipping point. There are many factors which has brought AI to its current tipping point. The 4 primary ones would be data. Data, which was the byproduct of social media, mobility, internet, and so on and so forth, became the fodder to the bottoms-up approach of AI. Data became the means to train the artificial neural nets of machine learning, which basically is kind of mimicking the way our brain works. Then there is sensors, gyrometers, accelerometers, IoTs. Today you can sense almost everything. Yeah, there is a cognification of everything, to an extent that a new realization is dawning on us, that we are as much a bioorganism as much an information organism. Then the whole exponentially growing computational powers. What was supercomputer yesterday is your smartphone today, and much more basically. And at an ever falling rate, prices. So that whole price and power ratio is increasingly becoming more and more compelling. The fourth reason that I would think would be the whole advancement and evolution of genetic science and neuroscience. And most interestingly, is integration. Biology and computer science were not looked as, but very different silos, if you will. And is integration with computer science. Have you ever wondered how does the great Stephen Hawking communicates with the rest of the world through his debilitating ALS? I am sure that these coming together of random factors, AI coming of age to its tipping point, would result in some fantastic inventions and innovations. I just do not doubt that. But what I personally feel most excited about, that it is going to make us ask some very profound questions in our quest to perfect the AI, to make machines, to make AI capable of thought, capable of emotions. We are asking ourselves an age-old question. What is consciousness? What is self-awareness? Who am I? What is it to be human? We are not only looking at the biology of our brain, we are also looking at the construct of our mind. Is brain like a hardware and is our mind like a software? And if so, how does a amorphous mind arises out of a physical brain? What is the neuroscience? What is architecture of intelligence? What is the neuroscience of how does brain stores, retrieves, processes information? For first time, we are looking at the question of what is self-awareness, what is consciousness, what is it to be human. Not so far we have looked at these questions only and only through the lenses of philosophy and or religion. We have not applied any other lenses on this question. For the first time in our quest to perfect the AI, to make machines capable of thought and emotions, we are applying lenses of math and science on it. And to my mind, I'm convinced this would be our finest achievement till date. For once we know who we are set for the next leap. Personally, I would believe that next leap would be that we would not be the same Homo Sapiens that we have been for a few million years. That sets us on a path of, if you will, you call Homo Sapien version 2.0 with ability to play God. If our forefathers imagine God in our own image, we'll create God in our own image. Not because we know what it is to be God or we want to be God per se, But science and technology empowers me today to weed out disease, to weed out pain, to weed out old age, and maybe to weed out even death from our lives. I think there is our technology is merging with our biology. Our technology is merging with our biology, and for paucity of, and our whole upgrade to Homo Sapiens version 2.0 with ability to play God may take one of these three paths, which is machines become more human-like. Okay, we genetically engineer ourselves into some kind of Superman. Okay, or we become more machine-like. For paucity of time today, I'm not going to explore all the three paths, okay, but would delve on the third one, which is we becoming more machine-like, cyborg, right? And if there's a smartphone glued onto your hand, then you're some degree cyborg already. Yeah? So I am not of the transhumanist view that there's an inevitable march of machines over man. No. True, machines are becoming more human-like, but we are becoming more synthetic too, right? Only faster. We are some degree cyborg already. I have a small thought experiment for you. Think you and I bring up a set of twins today. We give one child smartphone, internet, and whatever that comes in wake of it. Other we don't give smartphone, internet, and whatever comes in wake of it. Don't you think 10, 15 years on, this child is going to grow cognitively impaired and handicapped? So hasn't this expanded, technology expanded our sense of self? Can you imagine your existence sans smartphone, internet, and whatever else that comes in wake of it? It is you are already some degree cyborg. Now park this there and look at what is on the anvil. This smartphone, this computer would be reduced to a cellular size nanobots. Cellular size nanobot. Technology is already there. Just the cost of scale of economics has to work in its favor, which will be popping with your sports drink, tablet, or if you like, taking pokes through your capillary. The screen image will be projected right onto a retina. Then the only problem left is how do you interface with that computer? Because those would be, that is where I was starting. The whole integration between neuroscience and computer science. That is how Stephen Hawking communicates with his debilitating ALS, is the brain-computer interface. Same electrochemical activities that in our brain is responsible for conducting our musculoskeletal activity. Same electrochemical activity which is responsible for my speech, my movement, and it is working at a speed of thought would be operating our computers. If you park this there and just take a quick look at what is happening in the genetic engineering space. You know, we have developed molecular scissors, the advent of CRISPR technology, Cas9, and so on and so forth. What was so far the paradigm that the whole evolution works on natural and random selection, random as in probabilistic then, right? Selection. It's no more going to be natural. It's going to be designed. It's going to be deterministic. I think once that happens, choose your terminology. Once that happens, you clearly moved away from being the humans that you were. You have clearly become a new species. And I wonder that, remember, till 7 million years ago, we and chimpanzees were pretty much same. I'm not looking at you right now, but I'm just saying all of us. We were pretty much the same. You know, and some freak of evolutionary factors, we split from our nearest cousins by 1%. And the change of 1% in our DNA meant that chimpanzees ended in a zoo. We went on to create city empires, split atoms, land on moon, invent money, and imagine gods. Okay? Just 1% change. I truly believe we are about to get rewired. You know, there's another 1% change somewhere in the offing. But I also wonder that along this whole journey to become Homo Sapiens version 2.0 with ability to play God, is that we'll have to deal with some very, very human issues. Because this technology and science is changing our way of life, is going to disrupt jobs, is going to create jobs, is going to disrupt and refine our idea of relationship, love and sex. New codes of ethics and morality would have to be worked out. We are going to be new human beings. So, at the turn of 20th century, talking about jobs, horses lost their job in a ways that they never got it back. Okay? And this time too, it seems symbolically, it's the car which is in middle of this unfolding story. Okay, this time though the burden of the disruption would be on the man and not on the beast. Okay, I personally think, it could be a lopsided view, that each and all technologies are a creative force. Those motorized cars which disrupted the jobs of the horses, net created larger economy, became the wheels of progress. Okay, 65% to 90% they say of the current jobs would be lost in our lifetime. I picked the youngest. In our lifetime, right? So 65 to 90% jobs. But then you would imagine that million more opportunities would be created. You couldn't have thought about Airbnb, Uber even 10 years back. I personally think that if at the turn of 20th century, anything which was manual, you saw pump, you electrified it. Fan, you electrified it. Anything manual, you electrified it. Now, everything that we've electrified, will AIfy it. Intelligent socks, intelligent pajama, AI, take me for a wash, don't wash me too harshly. AI refrigerator, AI, a car, of course cars have become. I think there are million opportunities. There I think you have idea for next 100,000 startups. Take any X, add AI to it. I swear, take any X and add AI to it. Okay, everything can gain from some intelligence. Anything can gain from some intelligence. But also, there's a whole living, sapient, sentient, organic being that you are bringing into your lives. Yeah? You are cusp of a new relationship. How many have you seen this film, Her? I know Kisorji, you like that film. Her, and you have. So, okay, I'll give you a short for some people who have not seen it. So, this is the protagonist called Theodore, played by Joaquin Phoenix. And he installed an AI operating system on his phone, Samantha, and voiced over by Scarlett Johansson. And Samantha, and this operating system, Samantha, is conscious, intuitive being. She talks to him. She listens to him. My wife doesn't. She talks to him, she listens to him, she understands him. She's living, organic being. To a long story short, Theodore falls in love with her. And this is not new. Humans falling in love with non-human objects is not new. That's how we are known to project attributes of intentions, of feeling emotions on non-human objects. We do this with our gods, we do with these pets, some of us we do with our electronic gadgets. There are in Japan, since 1960, you have what is called Dutch wives there, which are basically inflated dolls. And they enjoy, within confine of that country and culture, they even enjoy special funeral and burial rites. They're inflated sex dolls. And look at look at the advancement in material science with silicon powered by AI. These are really real life creatures. And that would mean a lot of things. Of course, they would be used for elderly care. Japan has passed a law that by 2022, all elderly care would be provided by robots. So has Korea. For all geriatric care and all domestic help would only be provided by robots. But I also wonder what would it mean to the whole idea of relationship, sex, as we have known so far. Is this new living, breathing, real life thing would be my new pastime, my new girlfriend, or my new wife? Think about it. So let's say I run away with $6 of yours. So have I kidnapped your wife or stolen your car? No, honestly. And it is not a rhetorical question. It is not a theoretical debate. These questions would be asked of us. I just read that Saudi Arabia has granted citizenship to one of the robots. So what does that mean? So let's say I'm running for election in a place, there are 1,000 voters, and I put 10,000 robots, give them citizenship, right? I win all elections. So I'm not, what I'm saying is, and soon we'll be pressing these machines. They'll be performing surgeries. They'll be driving our cars. They'll be applying lethal force, in theater of war, right? In a fluid, unstructured, complicated environment. Machines which have been programmed by us but won't be controlled by us. In short, a new code of ethics and maths of morality would have to be worked. You and I can only hope that we have not only engineered a flawless man, but also ethically flawless man as well. Okay, and look, I hope you agree with me that the whole progress of humanity, civilization, has moved on our two distinct capabilities. There are two distinct threads to all our progression. Our ability to invent stories. We are so good at it. And our ability is to tell stories. Our ability to invent technologies. Our ability to invent technology and story are the main capabilities on which we have moved forward. Both of them we invent. We invent stories, we invent technology. Both of which in turn goes on to reinvent us. Invention of opposable thumb got us down from the trees, made us hunter-gatherers. Fire wheel made us farmers. Steam engine ethanol made me manufacturer. From opposable thumb to fire and wheel to steam engine to electricity to Google, all have been invented by us. And all of them have gone on to reinvent us. Again, I'll repeat, I think we are on a cusp of another major change. And all of this we did on steam of that 1% change. We are, ladies and gentlemen, about to get rewired. At the end, I'm reminded of Albert Camus. My friends ask me, why do we do this? Why do we do this and get disrupted and deal with the change? Why do we do this? Because perhaps we are the only creatures who don't know what to do with themselves. And look, this itch of ours is what got us down from the tree, and through trials and tribulation made man out of a monkey. It's not a small feat. Yeah? This itch is what made us man out of a monkey. And I think man won't stop here. Man won't stop here till we get to the next level, okay, which is, as I said, our forefathers did an imaginative job of imagining God in their form. I think we'll create him in our own form. Thank you.